Bishop G5, the trump on the board.
I know in the case of Wesley, once he gets into his comfort zones as far as his openings are concerned, it's really, really hard to knock him off his pedestal with Trumpovsky. That's a surprise. Knight c6, Bishop e5, by the way.
Instantly by the youngster. Every move so far, instant. Like, this is my theory.
This is what I prep. And takes.
And knight d2, he's still in his prep.
And look how quickly he's playing. Confidently. So Bishop takes c5, developing and winning back the pawn.
He's finally paused.
Yeah, I was about to say, now he paused. Okay.
And c3,
making sure that the pawn on c4 was going to be lost, so he gives it back to make sure that white structure is compromised. I was about to say, the castles of Bishop d7, so not too many alternatives in position to black. Here, knight e5 starts to look a little bit attractive.
By the way, this is the kind of position that you may say, black should be fine.
Yes.
But as far as Alireza is concerned, he doesn't care what fine is. He just wants a position that you haven't memorized, worked out completely. He's not an opening. He just needs a decent position on the board that causes Wesley to pulse a little bit. F5, and it's the kind of position too, I will add, that favors his creativity. A few imbalances. You see the king side for black is slightly compromised. Queen side is compromised. White's turn, rook to b1 on the board, defending the bishop on b5 in case of knight takes on d4, and now rook to c8 by Wesley. So it's a position, but it's not one of those that you can make a snap judgment and say, this is just triple zeros. And now a queen on h5.
Right.
Definitely a demonstration by the youngster. Hey, I'm whispering at your king a little bit. You better watch out.
Well, exactly, and I think that was one of the reasons why Wesley didn't play prescribed queen c7, bishop e7. He anticipated that the white queen might show up on his doorstep. Queen h5, so he wanted his queen over on the king side, and we can expect rook to d8, almost as an automatic.
There's a knight e4, sighting in the position, the knight jumping to e4 because of the bishop hanging on the c5 square. It doesn't seem to mean much at the moment. An offer to exchange queens. Kid doesn't like to trade queens. He likes tactics and trickiness. Plus, he would have righted the black pawn structure if he had done so. So he just dropped back, and the knight on d4 is a pretty solid piece.
Yeah, but the structure actually does favor black at the moment. The split pawn potential, especially for very ugly weakness on c3.
What about taking the knight on c6?
I was about to say, I think it's time to...
Bishop takes on c6.
Bishop takes c6 and giving up the two bishops. I don't like it. I'll take black. Okay. Let's see what he can do.
So he brought his knight over to the middle and queen f6. Now, and this is the issue. What should white do with this position? Knight c6 you had mentioned you might sign up for it.
Oh, knight on d2, f3 was his move. Queen came back to f6 because there was an intention for capture.
Oh, e4. We have an e4 sighting.
Okay.
That's changes
That's risky.
the position dramatically.
No question about it.
Is he dropping a pawn on takes?
Trying to work out the tactics as well as so because
knight takes d4 is my question.
Absolutely.
Let's play it. Let's play it and follow quickly before he goes, because I know he's thinking about it. Knight takes d4, pawn takes. You can take on b5 with the bishop, and let's say rook takes, and then take on d4. Or if you take on e4, then I can play queen takes and defend. Right?
Thinking that if you take on d4, got e5.
That's winning a piece.
Yeah, there's no back rank to me.
Oh, there might be trickery on the back row.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I don't know. I don't see it.
Well, we'll keep an eye.
I don't see that. And Wesley's calculating all of it. But my point is, if you take on e4 first, though, and what did Wesley play? Wesley just dropped his bishop back. I think he was legit, and now he's taking on f5. This has changed the pawn structure pretty dramatically. Pawn takes on f5, and now knight takes on d4.
Sorry.
And we're expecting pawn takes. Is Wesley can now take on f5 with anything he wants, either pawn or queen, and he's chosen the queen. But so we have an isolated pawn position.
With a compromised king structure.
With a compromised king side, can he play bishop d3? But his rooks can't get. Knight e5 is not possible because of the d pawn. So I don't know that bishop d3 goes anywhere with white. But what do you do otherwise?
Well, I'm begging for a rooklet.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to lift a rook, but it doesn't seem possible.
I'm thinking, first of all, get out of the back rank B. Bishop takes, rook takes, and I've got a tempo against the queen. The problem I'm having is
rook d5. Exactly. You can't get that rook lift.
Why I think I have to go with bishop. This one. Take over queen. The idea of bishop on was that done it? I don't know. Oh,
it doesn't seem to be leading anywhere. The bishop will go to c6. And what do you
played.
have?
Well,
it is a queen e4 siding right now. Finally. But I don't really want to take it. I'm so not interested. But if I play queen e4, probably g7, and I'm not taking on b7.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Yeah, bishop c6 is a problem.
Something did go forward. What went forward? He did go queen e4.
Okay, so
and a6.
Wesley didn't draw back with the queen, which I found to be natural. And he's saying, please take my pawn. Queen takes b7, bishop c6. That would be a disaster for white.
We are not taking that pawn.
Do not take that pawn. For sure, he's thinking 95.
But 95 right now.
Bishop e4.
Bishop a4, exactly. Your d pawn is under heavy pressure. But bishop c6 is on the way. Can he play d5 right now? Take it. d5, you just take it, and I can't. No checks in there. The queen on f6 is a monster defender. So no way to checkmate the white king.
That's the whole problem. You certainly can show up with queen h7 check, but as you're saying, this queen defends the business square at h8. The king's perfectly safe on f8. Dark square, no dark square bishop flying.
King is headed to f8. That's the trick. Then what does white have?
Isn't Firouzja's time just like seriously taking away?
He's been under a minute every game.
And we've seen him play
every game
with seconds on the clock. I mean, a second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds on the clock. He runs down his clock very often.
He's such a great bullet player that it seems like he wants to be in bullet mode. And so check to the king, queen g7, offering a trade, and now queen h4. What was the point here in bishop c6? What do you have after bishop c6?
Nothing. I'm not a fan of the move that Wesley chose.
He chose bishop e4, pushing the rook around.
I like that move a lot. Because again, d4 is now
but rook e4 and rook g4.
No, bishop takes d4 is going to
bishop d4, rook e4, no.
Bishop f6.
What you got for that? Bishop f6.
Bishop f6 and rook takes d3.
That's a little bit scary.
And
it's been
as
played.
we said, this is an absolutely huge game for the tournament, huge game for the players, as Vladimir Kramnik has put together a fantastic stream.
He made a move. What did he play here? Played the rook e4, allowing bishop f6, but your bishop on a4 is hanging.
As is the bishop on d3.
Right, so queen h3, keeping rook g4 in mind. You take on d3, he can take on a4.
No, I'm going to play bishop c6. You're going to play rook g4. I'm going to play rook takes d3. I didn't want to lose that light square bishop. I wanted to sacrifice my queen for rook, bishop, and pawn.
No. You mean after bishop c6?
Bishop c6, rook g4, rook takes.
Oh, I see.
d3. Oh, he's allowed.
This you think is a bad idea. And Wesley played bishop g5 in response and allowed rook takes a4. Wesley's currently up a pawn.
I would have,
by the way,
delighted.
Boy 2 just flashed inside my head.
Back rank.
And it's been played. Queen b2 on the board with the back rank. And how do you defend? You have to play rook f1 But then rook
10
c1 is coming.
seconds.
He's in big trouble right now.
Rook c1 on the board.
Oh, he's in trouble.
And
Big f1. Rook to c1.
And he's played. He had to play.
g4. Ew.
Ooh,
This
terrible
looks
move.
ugly. There must be a win.
Queen e2 has got to be winning.
No, queen e2.
Queen e2 right here.
But he can take your
right now.
Take your rook.
Think about it. Queen e2.
No, rook takes on f1 has been played. He could always put his king to g2. So rook takes rook though.
Bishop takes.
And then king g2.
Bishop e3.
And the game is over. He has defeated him. Fantastic play by Wesley.